back to my channel. So today, as you can see, I'm doing my October favorites video. We are just gonna get right into it. Everything I've been loving this month. I think I have 7 fragrances that I'm gonna go through. And then at the end, I do have 3 non-fragrance favorites as well, including this lip color. So without further ado, let's get started. If you haven't subscribed already, don't forget to subscribe and follow me on Instagram. And we'll start with my scent of the day, which is Narciso Ombre. I just love this one. I went back on my word. I'm gonna respray a little bit. Freshen up, not that it's disappeared at all. But I really did go back on my word when I said I wouldn't pick this up because it was just way too close to the others. And while I feel like if you are just kind of middle of the road about these Narciso cubes, do you need every single one? No. But if you love them the way I love them, they're kind of easy to just collect without even meaning to. And now I am happy I have this one. I can definitely smell a difference more at home when I've tried them one alongside the other. I wouldn't say any of them are like my be all and end all favorite. Maybe Poudre has a little bit step above the others, but honestly, I've really been gravitating towards this one. Color wise, this is my favorite. Not that it matters, but it's by and large my favorite. And this has, I would say it's closer to the Rouge than the Poudre. It definitely still has that Narciso musk, but there's something just more kind of floral but ambery about this one that kind of sets it a little bit more apart. And I do still stay, you know, on my word and agree that I like this one more than the newer one that came out, the Ombre, I think, Neroli or something. That one's even more floral. I prefer this one. This one's more powdery. And it's been really nice for those kind of, when I've been wanting to reach for something powdery, but that's also newer into my collection, I've been reaching for this. Then we will move on to Neroli d'Isfahan by Boucheron. This is still my one and only, maybe I'll spray it here, full bottle of this more expensive line from Boucheron. But I've tried a whole bunch now in like decants. And something in me is like itching to collect them all, but I won't. I still, based on decants and smelling this, my full bottle, I think I made 100% the right decision for me. This is my cold weather Neroli, and I think it's stunning. I do wear it year round because I like it so much, but I think fall time is actually the perfect time for it. It's definitely usually Neroli has a lot more of like a spring, summer vibe to it. And this is definitely like a colder weather Neroli. It's spiced, it's warm, it's got a freshness there, but I think it's really nice that I can have one of my favorite notes ever in like a fall winter version as well. I think the bottle is stunning. The cap is heavy. Like, I really think those of us who are in on how great these are, I feel like are part of like this small little club because they're totally underrated. And I actually think more beautiful than a lot of more expensive fragrances that get a lot of hype. But yeah, I've been loving that one. I'm glad to wear it when I think it performs the best, which is fall time. Then a fragrance that I've kind of semi-forced myself to be using, but also just grew an appreciation for. And I wear this on the days I am home predominantly. I don't think I've ever worn it out, but this is Ancestral Papyrus from that like fall collection by Zara and Jo Malone that I did a whole video on, all 4 of them. I'll spray it this side. I remember during that video, I wasn't entirely impressed with it because it fully smells like a vegetable smoothie, and I stand by that. It smells like celery and greens, and it just smells like a very green vegetable smoothie that you put absolutely zero fruits into. And then as it stays on your skin, there is a really interesting, like, old paper note that comes into play, which makes total sense because of papyrus. I wouldn't say it smells like books, but it does smell like old paper. And it still has that vegetable smoothie vibe. I can't really explain it, but I feel like there is something very niche smelling about this, which I wouldn't in any way, shape, or form recommend for you to try blind, even though I bought it blind. But for better or for worse, I've been reaching for it and wearing it at home because it doesn't, there are certain fragrances where I feel like I don't feel confident in wearing them out. I don't feel like that's not what I want to smell like around other people, but I do want to try it out at home, where I'm not, around the public, and it's just like a couple people at a time. So I do think it's really interesting. I'm being completely honest. It's one of the fragrances I've worn the most this month, but it's also interesting because it's not like I love it or anything. I just have been really drawn to doing wear tests of it. And I have to say, it's one of the better performing. I feel like it's a step, because you guys always ask about performance. It's not a middle of the road performance for a Zara Jo Malone collaboration. It's like one step above middle, but it's not the best performing either. The best performing I feel like was in her first collection. She had two that really performed really well. This is kind of closer to that, but not middle down the road, but it's definitely not one of those lighter ones that like disappears in an hour. I feel like it really sticks around on the skin, and you can smell the changes when it gets more into that heart, and it smells more like old paper, whereas the opening is just straight up vegetable smoothie. All right, and the next fragrance is not fall time vibes at all, but again, being completely honest, not every night, but I felt like for more than half the nights of October, I wore this to bed, and I just couldn't stop. Like, I always wear 1 to 2 fragrances to bed, and usually I'll change it up, or I'll like be drawn to a bunch of things, but literally half the month I couldn't stop wearing this. So that's Dolce Garden by Dolce & Gabbana. You can see a full-on dent, like a real one that I'm sure you can see, because most of the time when I point out dents, y'all can't even see them. But this is proof. I really have been loving it. Whoops, I dropped the ribbon. And I'm not going to spray right now because it so does not blend well with Ancestral Papyrus. I mean, they are as opposite as opposite gets. But I just have fallen in love with this. This is such a interesting fragrance in my collection, because when I first tried it out, I was like completely not in love with it, and something was putting me off it completely. And now I flipped. Like, I can still smell what I smelled that put me off, but I'm in love with it, and I've become part of the hype. But I really think it's worth it. I actually think I will finish this fragrance, like, I don't want to say relatively soon, but you'll see it in an empties video, because I go through it so quickly, and anytime I don't know what I want to wear, I feel like I reach for Dolce Garden. Next, and this has been a fragrance that I've worn kind of in between the nights I don't wear Dolce Garden to bed, is This Is Us by Zadig & Voltaire. Now, this also has a dent, but I'm pretty sure you can't see it, and it's a unisex fragrance. I'll just spray it in the air. When I first hauled this, like, I liked it. I definitely did, but it wasn't a love at all. And I was like, oh, this just does not compare to This Is Her, and it's just not at that level. And while it's not that I like this one more now, but I've just been so drawn to wearing this at night. It actually has really good lasting power. It has that lactonic vibe, but it's a much more unisex, woody take to it. And I've been loving it. I also, and I know maybe I'm just in the minority about this, but something about these bottles with This Is Her and This Is Us and all the ones where they have like the straight edge and then the slightly bumpy edge on the side, I'm obsessed with them. Like I just find it so aesthetically pleasing, this like bumpy edge on the side, which is such a side note. But in all honesty, I've been totally loving wearing This Is Us to bed as well. All right, and with October, at least where I am, there's a whole lot of rain. It's been raining like crazy, and a rainy day fragrance is a must need. So I've actually, probably because it's like newer to my collection, I've been reaching for Un Jardin Après la Mousson, and this is such, I mean, fitting because of the name, but it is such a good rainy day fragrance. I feel like it just evokes rainy day vibes for me. It's like floral green, but very dew-like. And it honestly is probably a lot more of like an early spring rainy day fragrance where it's still cold rather than early fall. But I hate fall, and so I just wear this one instead. And it does, I feel like, because there's a depth to it and there's, you know, richness in its base notes in particular, it doesn't feel like so spring-like where you couldn't wear it in fall. It actually just melds right in. And yeah, I've been really liking that one. And obviously I love the Jardin series by Hermes, so couldn't go wrong there. And then the last fragrance, number 7, that I've been wearing a whole lot has been My Way by Giorgio Armani. No other reason other than the fact that I love it, and whatever, I sprayed it. It's just a mishmash of scents at this point. I love this. I think it's really, really up my alley in terms of tuberose, grapey florals that are kind of smacking the face. Do I think these scents are showing up more often now by a bunch of designers? Yes. Will I still absolutely try all of them, because for a while there they were harder to find? Also yes. I don't think everyone needs all of them unless you adore this type of scent the way I do, and I'm sure other people do. But otherwise, you can just get one or two. This has similar vibes to So Scandal. I wouldn't say it's similar, but it's supposedly kind of in the same vein as Aintel D. Like those kinds of florals where it gets bubblegummy and grapey and everything they're my kryptonite. So I really do like this one, and I'm in the category of people that actually loves the bottle. I have no problem with the cap or any of it, and I love how heavy it is as well. So now we will get to the 3 non-fragrance favorites. I love to share these, so I hope you guys do as well. I'm sure you noticed my lip product today, and it's actually a lip gloss from I'm wearing a Bite Beauty lipstick as a lip liner. I used it as a lip liner just to draw out my lips, but predominantly the color really is this lip gloss, and it's in the shade Phoebe because it's the Friends collection from Revolution. And it's funny because I didn't think that collection showed up in Canada. I bought one of the eyeshadow palettes in Portugal when I was traveling, and I was so happy because I'm like, there's no way it's going to show up here. And then I was shopping at Shoppers, and Phoebe and Monica's lip glosses were on sale. So it must have been here while I was away, and I just didn't pick it up. And it matches my nail polish, actually. It's a really, obviously you can see, kind of eggplant purple. My lip liner was more of like a scarlety red. So you can put kind of whatever you want underneath it, but it's very full coverage. Like it's a very deep color to that, and I think it's really stunning. I love that. Then again, with drier weather, with colder weather and rainy weather, I've really more than ever amped up body scrubs. Like I do a body scrub every single shower now, it seems. And I've really gotten into it. And one of the newer ones, I only have 2 that I alternate between, but the one that's more new to my collection is the Dove exfoliating body polish. I've tried a bunch of their other scents, years ago, but I saw this one was new, and as you can see, it's new, and it says it's got like a really deep scrub to it, and it's in the smell, I should say, brown sugar and coconut butter. It smells good. I will say a lot of them do smell kind of similar, like they have that base Dove body polish scent to it, but this is just a little bit warmer. It's a nice fall time scent. This one, I really would say more so than my other ones, isn't as grainy. It's not as deep as my other one. Then this is kind of more of a softer one, but I do like it. And I do it on dry skin because I feel like I get really in there, and then I just wash it off. And then my foundation rather, that I've been really loving, and I just picked up from Shoppers, and I really do like it, is the Bourjois Paris Foundation Air Matte, and it has an undetectable matte finish, 24-hour hold skincare formula. Now, I can't speak to the 24-hour hold because I take my makeup off, and I have it in the shade Vanilla 02 in case you were interested, but I really have gotten a little bit more back into the full matte face. For a while there, I was even getting caught up on the dewy front and the highlighters and everything extra dewy, but I used to be a matte girl way back in the day, and I saw this one and I was curious, and I really do like it. So definitely check it out if you're interested in a nice kind of tubed matte foundation. I also like that it's not in a glass bottle, particularly because I can travel with this one, like even on weekend getaways, I find it easier to travel with. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Let me know in the comments below what your October favorites are, and let me know if any of mine are any of yours as well. Don't forget to subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye!